Well, we've got to start with the big name in the house tonight, and it's Angela Rayner. Should we pull up the front page of the Mirror? Because it's exclusive. They've got an exclusive. Who would have thought it? She's got an exclusive with the Mirror, everybody. Angela Rayner vowed to fight for her constituents as a backbench MP for how long, I wonder? After infighting this week, the ex-Deputy Prime Minister urged Labour to unite and end arrogant tittle-tattle. Former Deputy PM calls on Labour to end the arrogant tittle-tattle.
This important interruption is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your money and your identity. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code here to get ExpressVPN right now and save up to 73% on annual plans today. Right, let's get back into it.
Lisa.
She's on the move. she's on the move, isn't she? She's on the move. She's on the front page of the Mirror. Friendly. It's a friendly interview. One of the things that I think they've forgotten is that Angela Rayner decided to leave her constituents and live in a pad in Hove for her full-time house. So I'm not sure how that is fighting for ordinary people.
Yeah. I mean, Peter. She's kind of seen as the darling of the Labour Party, isn't she, Angela Rayner? Now, are you surprised that she might be on manoeuvres here? Because, of course, the Telegraph are reporting. If we just bring up the Telegraph, because I think it's a nice contrast. Telegraph says Rayner plots move against Starmer, former Housing Secretary, already offering cabinet jobs as turmoil engulfs Labour. Peter.
Of course, Angela Rayner is the darling of the Labour Party. Look who she's lifted out of poverty, herself, right? And that's about it, OK? This is a clear illustration, OK, of how riven this appalling Labour Party and government is with gossip, plotting, scheming, everything going on. We're hearing it in the papers every day. Starmer clearly lacks authority. The government is almost stagnant. It's appalling. And the nation has to get rid of this Labour government as soon as it possibly can for the benefit of the nation.
Well, look, I mean, Lisa... Well, AJ, I'll come to you briefly on this one because look, at the end of the day, there's lots of people lining up to take over from the beleaguered Prime Minister, the most unpopular Prime Minister in history, nonetheless, Andy Burnham and others. Do you think that Angela Rayner could change the chances for the Labour Party in government?
It would just be nice to have a clear focus. If she's going to come out and do it, just say it straight. This is what I want. The same thing for Keir. Like, if he wants to hold on to that position, he needs to come out and make a statement. And I think the one thing for normal people is kind of like this weird kind of a leaking of information is confusing everybody, let alone the markets and the pound itself within the country. But if she's going to go for it, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa, because again,
there's a queue, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a queue. There is a queue of people. But this would help if there was an earlier leadership election. This would really help Angela Rayner because Andy Burnham's out of the picture, then, isn't he?
I mean. Personally, I think Andy Burnham would be more dangerous to his opponents.
Why'd you say that?
Because he's from the north. He's sort of seen as he's got a common touch. He's done quite well in Manchester. He's not tainted with this Labour government because he's not been in it. Angela Rayner's tainted with this, so I'm not sure. I think Burnham would be a better bet for the Labour Party.
Every time you're online, your money and your identity are at risk. Scams now make up nearly 40% of all crime in the UK. That's thousands of attacks every single day. In Britain, someone has their identity stolen every 2 minutes, leaving victims with wrecked finances and years of stress. The threat is real, and you could be next. ExpressVPN is your shield against criminals. It locks down your devices, hiding your personal information and financial details from hackers, scammers, and anyone else looking to exploit you. So whether you're checking your bank, shopping, or just browsing, ExpressVPN makes you invisible to prying eyes trying to steal your money and your identity. ExpressVPN shields your data with military-grade AES 256 encryption. That's the same standard trusted by the US government to guard classified information. This is the highest level of online security you can get. So don't wait for disaster. Secure up to 14 devices at once and get powerful password protection. Real support is available 24/7 because cybercrime never sleeps. Save up to 73% on annual plans today. Every moment you hesitate is another moment you're exposed. Protect your money and protect your identity. Get ExpressVPN right now.
So they've got the Telegraph have got lots of these very unique little sources here, and I'm just going to read one of them out for you. It says here, a third Labour MP said the government has found itself in a position where it has lost the confidence of a significant part of the parliamentary Labour Party. Now, I believe they've got to have at least 80 or something around that. I think someone on my ear will confirm that for me in a second. I think it's 80, at least something around that number, to overthrow the Prime Minister, 80 rebels. Peter, again, you go back to this point, can Labour turn its fortunes around, and are these MPs looking at, especially some of these who've just got into power and gone, I could be out in 3 years' time?
Labour still has a huge majority, which sometimes I think we all tend to forget. What we do need to remember is that some of those MPs elected into Parliament for the first time only last year are earning more money than they will ever earn in their lives, because the private sector will not reward their staggering lack of talent with anything like the money they're taking out of the public purse at the moment. No wonder they want to cling on to their jobs. They'll never earn any more ever in their lives.
I agree with Peter on that, because I know once these very mediocre people have been in there for 5-6 years...
Well, you don't think Rachel Reeves could get a job at a big, massive bank?
Oh, I don't know, yeah.
Piggy bank?
Yeah.
If they want to stay in power, like, listen, go watch the show, realise what people actually want regarding taxes, regarding actually deportation. Like, listen to the people. It's not that hard. People are actually saying what they want.
But Boris Johnson was kicked out of number 10, and that destroyed the Conservative Party. You might argue that they might have clung on to some more seats had Boris Johnson stayed. Do you think they would be foolish enough to make the same decision with Angela Rayner and Starmer, perhaps?
I think what Peter said is kind of like, there's a lot of seats still there, and if it did get to that number of, if it is 80, like, that's
83.
That's a lot of people you spoke to behind the scenes.
Well, the problem is, Peter, as we've heard so many times before, the Prime Minister doesn't talk to his backbenchers. So, I mean, they've got no connection with him, and then all of a sudden he's expecting them perhaps to not, destroy his political career.
He fundamentally lacks authority within his cabinet, within his parliament, within his party, which is why there is all this scheming, all this gossip and all this rumour. He is fundamentally bankrupt when it comes to the authority.
Do you think he's finished?
At some point, yeah. He'll never be re-elected as a Prime Minister, that's for sure.
He's finished it. He's been finished in the country probably for some time. I think the Labour Parliamentary Party are realising that now, and they realise that they will probably be finished too. So I think this is what's happening.
I think minus politics, like, it would be really nice to understand what he actually stands for as a person. I feel like every speech he does, he talks about his mum, his dad, his dog, his cat, whatever it is. But, like, tell me what you stand for as a person. Yeah. And I feel like within the Labour Party, the people themselves, like, tell me what you stand for, please.
Well, listen, we'll dig more into this story, and we'll see if we can reach out to some of our friends in the Labour Party, see if they can give us any inside gossip. Perhaps. Let's try that, shall we? Give it a go.
Hello, welcome back. Peter Barnes is down the line, political commentator, to look at the papers tomorrow. Peter, let's look at the front page of the Sunday Telegraph. Great story here. Actually, it's breaking in the last few hours. Angela Rayner, Three Homes Rayner, is plotting a move against Keir Starmer for the leadership. So, of course, she had to resign as the Deputy PM over her tax affairs, but now she fancies a shot at the big job. What do you think her chances are?
Well, to be honest, I think she could probably win it. The real question is, are the Labour Party that silly to put in a woman whose seat is actually at risk at the next general election, because she's barely holding on to that? It's the same with Wes Streeting. If we actually go back to the last general election, many of the top flight candidates to be the next Prime Minister, well, if Labour win, for example, then are questionable whether they're going to be able to hold on to actually being a member of Parliament. You know, the way that the Green Party are taking seats off them left, right and centre, they've lost the majority of the Muslim vote. It doesn't really matter who the leader is at this point in time. They don't have a core voter base anymore, and that's the real problem at the Labour Party. And that's all Keir Starmer's fault, because he said one thing to one group, said one thing to another, and everybody said it's time to start paying up, and he's got no money left.
How long do you think Keir Starmer's got? And also, under what circumstances would a leadership election be called? What would have to happen for a leadership election in the Labour Party and Starmer resigns? What is it? A duff budget getting wiped out in the local elections next year? What is it?
Honestly, my gut is telling me he's not going anywhere because there's no viable candidate. They're not really rallying around an individual. This is where the Tories always got it wrong. Well, basically, what you do is you're replacing a leader. You need a one single figure to be able to move forward. The thing that happens most of the time is everybody with an ego, so that's every politician, puts themselves forward, they split the vote, and it becomes chaos. So what they really need to do, the Labour Party, the rebels, as they want to call themselves, they need to find one person. But the problem is they can't agree on that because West Streeting is about 7th in line, like 7th favourite. The favourite at the moment is Ed Miliband, according to members, but the trade unions will never take him. So I'm not really quite sure where this is going. It's a lot of kind of media headlines, and it's a good bit of, a good thing to dine out on. But unfortunately, in terms of its practicalities, I just don't see it. And this is because Keir Starmer is actually quite good at using his cabinet secretaries as shields. But yeah, it's a lot to go at.
Yeah. All right. Peter, thanks very much. Appreciate it. We'll catch up in the next hour. The same Ed Miliband, by the way, the eco-zealot who flew business class from the UK to Brazil, then back again business class, then back again to Brazil, stayed in a £1,000 a night hotel, by the way, all courtesy of you, the taxpayer, and then brought a British delegation to COP in Brazil of more than 200, the second highest delegation in Europe. Hang on a minute. I thought the world was burning. If your house was burning down, you wouldn't run back in to get something, would you?